All right, how's it going? Today is November 19th, 2023. A few days ago, I recorded a video deep in the thralls of depersonalization, derealization, anxiety, depression, all that good stuff. You know what? I want to Google and make sure thralls, I'm not using that word incorrectly. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, deep in the thralls of mental illness. So what happened yesterday was my first noticeable decrease in symptoms. I just felt way better pretty spontaneously. It was like 4 p.m. And so I wanted to talk about the things that led up to that and what I expect to continue to happen. So I'm just looking at my notes here. It says more feeling in body, good mood. It was a little bit scary. And the reason it was scary is because, even though it feels good and it's a very positive thing, it was a new experience that I haven't experienced in a long time. And if you just suddenly feel a lot different than you're used to feeling, it is kind of jarring. So what led to that was I did squats earlier in the day. That would be working out squats. What I've noticed with like this customized program that I've created for myself over the years is that one of the things that's most highly correlated with me feeling better is squats specifically. Something about doing a hard workout that's like full body, like squats, is just like magical for mental health. I don't really hear any other people in this space talk about that. They mostly just talk about things like interoception, which I think is mostly useless. I think that's just a way to sell people on like programs, which, maybe I'm different than most people, or some people it works for. I don't know what it's like to be someone else. I only know what it's like to be me, but I do know that interoception is like, it's kind of like a form of meditation. It's like, it might move the needle like on a 100-point scale, it might move the needle like 1 to 5 points. It's like, it's so minimal that it doesn't really matter. But if you do things that really change your life on a consistent basis, like working out and actually changing your life on a weekly basis to bring your baseline higher, I do think those are the kinds of things that will actually change your life. You could make the argument that like daily meditation and interoception could change your life, but it just never did for me. So anyway, the next note I have is that I'm not overexerting in general. So one of the tendencies that I've had in the past, my whole adult life, is to kind of, take these times to like rest or whatever, and then start getting anxious about where I'm at in life and like, oh, well, I could and should be doing more. And so I would oftentimes overexert myself in all sorts of areas. I would start working too much. I would like get an extra job. I would start like doing too many workouts, trying to overcompensate, or maybe just compensate, period. Maybe not even overcompensate, just compensate for the lack of results in my life. But unfortunately, that's not how you get over these kinds of problems, I've learned. So that's just to say, not overexerting in general, lots of rest. So I'm just like laying down a lot, watching a lot of shows, playing games. It's honestly very boring and kind of like nerve-wracking, but this is how I've learned to beat this thing. And then the last note I have is that the last few days have been filled with tons of boredom. So what I make of that is that as your brain kind of adjusts to a new reality, the things that you were entertained by are no longer as entertaining. So you're kind of in this middle ground of like becoming like this newer person who you're supposed to be, you could say, and like who you were. So it's like if you're super depressed, maybe all you can really do is like watch shows, right? Play video games. Like that's what my life has been. But then you start having like bigger aspirations as you become less depressed, and then those things are very boring. Yeah, I think that's just like a natural part of things, but it is a note I wanted to make because this is a recurring theme. Today I am once again very bored, which is kind of why I'm making this video. But yeah, just documenting this process. So again, November 18th marked the first time that I actually had a tangible difference in my kind of like disposition, my mood, my feelings in my body. And yeah, I mentioned the important things, but I'll say them again, which is lots and lots of rest, but also working out. And another thing is like just staying consistent, consistent eating schedule, consistent sleeping schedule. The reason these things are important is because you want your life to be kind of like a game that you can, game or science experiment, whatever suits your fancy, I guess. I don't know if that's something people say. I think it is. But it's like whatever makes sense. So it's like you want to have control over your life, not in a neurotic way, but just like, okay, every day I eat at this time. I usually eat this meal. And you know the variables, so it's easy to deal with life when there's less variables. So working out at the same time, pretty consistent. I've played with like, do I work out 4 times a week, 5 times a week, 3 times a week? Currently I'm doing 4 times a week, but you can find whatever suits you. But yeah, those are the big ones, is like consistency with sleep, eating, just like schedule in general, and working out has been massive for me. I think it's just like that. I just call it like an antidepressant. It's just like you need that, well, you don't need it, but I need it, that antidepressant dose, 4 days a week, and it's reliable. And when things become more reliable, you're able to relax more, which is just very good for mental health. So that's the update.